Face-front, non-believers. Well, it's that time of year again when the threat of nuclear war causes scientists to run wild in the streets. And boy, have they gone wild. Okay, maybe not wild, but they have definitely scattered in a myriad of directions. The upcoming March for Science seems to encompass every single cause, motive, message, desire, hope that anyone can think of, and then a few more. And you know what? Despite the title of this video, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I mean, hopefully at the end of the day, the March for Science will raise awareness in whatever particular way the viewer already thinks of science. You better hope it's already a positive way that they just hadn't thought of in a long time. Oh man, I remember science. I remember watching Bill Nye and Mr. Wizard. I remember taking a science class where we had to use the scientific method to discover something. So science is still a thing, apparently. Cool. I'm going to write to my congressperson and tell them, I love science. There. So hopefully some generic and vague awareness will be raised in the hearts and minds of those who have maybe forgotten. It's just a damn shame that no one's mind will be changed. No one will be inspired above and beyond their preconceptions of science, because in order to do that, you need a clear and concise message. You need a singular voice. You need leadership. So another silver lining that might follow this confusing shitstorm is that maybe, just maybe, some science folks in a position of authority will realize that they need to exercise that authority. I mean, hey, I totally empathize with folks like Michael Shermer, and not just because he's signing some of my paychecks, that science should be above and beyond politics. I sincerely wish that we will come to a time where the difference between science and our vacuum-like conception of science is indistinguishable. But in the meantime,
science has always been politicized since Galileo, frankly. And, you know, we always tend to think of now as the worst time. I think it's a tendency to do that. It's one of the reasons we romanticize the past and can get away with stupid sentences like "Make America Great Again," you know. But so science is what humans do, and what humans do always gets politicized. The March for Science, it depends on what they want to do. I mean, I'm all in favor of a March for Science to say empirical evidence should be the basis of public policy.
We live in a very, let's say, dynamic context. And if we want funding, if we want a department's continued existence, if we want those disgusting non-science citizens to have any sort of understanding and appreciation for what we do and what we want to do, you need to join the fight. You need to take the lead, and the best way to do that is with a clear and consistent message. Hell, it doesn't even have to be a great one. But having spoken directly with a few members of the Science March Committee, I think they potentially had a great message. Basically, what has science done for you? #ScienceServes. Everyone has a story or can relate to the idea that their lives have been greatly improved by science. And granted, there's a bit of that message still going on with the March for Science, but there's also stuff like this. And this. I mean, maybe it's just me, but this is beginning to smell a little like religious fervor. One of the things I've always loved about science is that it never claims to know the truth. Or, as I like to say, science doesn't know dick. It's a method for discovering dick. How you apply that method and where you choose to apply that method can't be determined by following the data alone. This is where philosophy comes in. If you can't make value judgments or create your own meaning, sometimes intuitively or even arbitrarily, you'll never even be able to leave your own house. Look at the case of Phineas Gage. He still had his ability to reason based on the available evidence, but if that's all you're going by, what's the difference between, would you like me to schedule you for 3 or 4? Would you like that in red or blue? Do you want sex or a blowjob? Science without philosophy, intuition, meaning, value, story, turns into the island of Laputa. And don't get me wrong, even though I think that philosophy, attributing value and meaning to things, is the answer to this scientistic epidemic the science community seems to be facing, philosophers and their students are also the worst when it comes to utilizing this branch of knowledge. One of life's many paradoxes, like the divorced marriage counselor, or the fontologist who can't read a menu. We also have a bad habit of going on tangents. Where was I? The March for Science. Well, regardless of what you think the march is for or what you think science is, you should come out and let the world know what you think it is or should be. And if you're in LA, you should swing by Pershing Square, where I will be at the Skeptics Society booth, and be sure to catch Michael Shermer's talk. Details coming soon. And I know you didn't ask, but if you wanted to know where I've been lately, well, recently I've been putting together some very cool stuff for Michael Shermer and the Skeptics Society, so check those out. I mean, how sick is that intro? And I have, for many months, been doing all kinds of production work for scientist turned filmmaker Randy Olson. The most exciting fruit of that labor about to drop on his channel any day now. So if you're interested in science communication, and if you're into skepticism, you are, subscribe to his channel. We actually did a video a while back about the election. Randy was sadly one of the few people to call Trump's win. Using science, which sounds nuts, but seriously, check it out. As for this channel, you will be seeing at least one more video this month, and then hopefully some very exciting stuff that I can't really talk about yet. By the way, can I just say, not to brag, well, it's a little braggy, but more being grateful. How crazy is it that my only actual job for the last 6 months or so has been doing what I love, filmmaking, for science communicators? That's crazy, right? I'm also trying to remind myself how lucky I am because I'm about to spend the next 5 to 6 hours re-editing the same project that I've already re-edited like a dozen times. But like I said, they're paying for the privilege. And it is looking pretty fucking good. I swear, Randy, it's looking great. And so yeah, that's about all for now. Thanks for watching.